High school counselors, I'm so glad that you're here. Today we're going to talk about what things you should bring for your school counseling interview. In the previous video, we were talking about the role of the school counselor and some simple interview questions, possible questions for you. And I tied it up with my personal experiences. Does that mean that you're going to have the same questions? No, but probably they're going to combine and match those questions. And they're going to embed it all in one just for you. I just want you to be prepared and ready. Also, we're going to do a recap of those questions in a little bit, or you can find the video over here, or by the end of this video. It's going to be a playlist. The other thing I wanted to share with you that is a recap from the last video. Don't forget, whenever you go to the interview, before you go into the interview, make sure that you look on this website, greatschools.org, put the zip code or the address of the school, and investigate a little bit the demographics, ethnicities. You can investigate if it's low income, if it's a Title I school. Also, you can investigate test scores, ratio, for a school counselor, and other type of details. It is a great page. I use that one in every single interview that I got when I was a teacher and also as a counselor. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Crystal Santiago and I'm a bilingual school counselor in Houston, Texas. And I'm super excited to be here with you, sharing with a lot of love all the things that I know and things that work for me. Does that mean that you have to do all the things that I'm saying? No, but put it in your toolkit and be ready for your next opportunity and for your next job. The first tip that I want to share with you is that you must have some electronic devices, whether if it's a phone, a Chromebook, your computer, a tablet, an iPad, whatever, or any type of electronic device that you would like to use. And at the same time, hard copies of your resume and other things that we're going to talk in detail. When you're filling out those applications, sometimes we do not have an updated resume. So it's very important that you bring a hard copy of your resume to the interview. That will give them a great impression. So you're going to start that interview, hi, nice to meet you, introductions, and you're going to open up your folder, your binder, or your backpack, and you're going to provide a packet for each person in that panel, rather if it's 1, 2, or if it's 7 to 10 people. So make sure that you're ready with all the things that I'm going to say, 7 to 10 copies for each of them. And that will be tip number 2. Make sure that you have your electronic devices, you have your hard copies, 7 to 10 copies. You never know how many people you're going to see in your updated resume. And we don't know if the one that you put it in the system is right or wrong. So make sure that you check and print your resume, and that will be the first thing you're going to put in. Tip number 2. You're going to provide a brochure, and remember, you can show them the professional brochure on a tablet, on your phone, but it's going to look good if they have a visual representation right away at their fingertips. So take a look of your brochure. What do you offer for your program? Maybe referrals, QR codes, how they can contact you, and if it is from a previous campus, or maybe you don't have a job yet as a school counselor, but that could be something that you can bring for the meet the teacher, meet the counselor meeting, and the parents can get to know you and how they can access your services. If you have a different name from a different school, that doesn't matter. Tip number 3, provide a calendar template. Why? They need to see in action, especially you're going to be multitasking, and you need to show them that you know what you're doing and how you can balance your calendar between the individual counseling, small group sessions, creating resources for parents or Zoom meetings with them, virtual students if you have some. Right now, we are in blended learning, so I have to take care of my friends that are doing virtual learning and my friends that are face-to-face. In my district, we do have a bunch of them face-to-face, but I do have a couple of students that they're doing virtual learning, and I also provide services for them. So it's very important that you balance your calendar, whether if you are doing individual planning for your students, if you're doing 5th grade transition, or any type 8th grade transition, or high school transition, that you're doing virtual opportunities for students, that you're connecting with your community, if you're providing any type of resources for them, that your plan is aligned in all those components. Don't forget about your responsive services, system support, your individual planning, and your guidance lessons. Don't forget about that. So your calendar should show how you would accommodate a day. One tip that I use, I've done it in different ways. Sometimes I do my guidance lessons in a specific week. Sometimes I chunk it down throughout the year. Do what works best for you. Times what I do, I create my calendar in a specific way. For example, Mondays and Fridays are for my 504 meetings or arts if you're participating of them. Maybe Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going to combine individual counseling, group counseling, and individual meetings. Maybe every morning you're going to check your emails, or maybe in the afternoon. Make sure that that's in your schedule. Set up a specific time where you are supposed to eat lunch. Why I say it like that? If you're a school counselor, or if you're about to be a school counselor, sometimes we don't get to eat lunch, but I like to put it in place. It's like a friendly reminder for myself that I need to take care of my basic needs. Okay? If you're visiting a student for a DAEP program, it's in a specific day. It's very important that they can see when it's going to be the visit. I share my calendar and say this in the interview. This is what I do. This was our best practices. Do you need to do it? No, but it will be really good if everyone knows where you are and what are you doing. It's just that transparency that you're not just in your office. Maybe, I don't know what they will think that you were doing, but to avoid any type of miscommunication, that you're not over there getting fresh air or looking into any type of social media, that you're working. Make sure that you're in your calendar with your principal, with your B, with the front office, maybe with the receptionist, and all the people, maybe the GT coordinator or the testing coordinator. And I hope and pray that that's not you all in one, a person flying solo doing all the work. I know that's very common, so I pray and I wish that that's not you, and that will go away and you will take all the responsibilities that are related to school counseling services. Okay, so going back to tip number 4. Make sure that you provide a tangible, specific example about your school counseling referrals. Who can refer a student? Technically, anybody can refer a student. But it's very important that you show them that you have a referral system that you're going to navigate through, that you're going to do, that you're going to implement, that you're going to train your teachers, that you're going to train your parents, and that everybody knows, rather if it's a conversation in the hallway, but that you have a formal system to support every single referral. Who can refer a student? A school staff, a teacher, a parent. Any student can conduct a self-referral. It is very important that everybody's talking the same language and they know how they can find you and that you're accessible for them. Provide an example for them in your brochure. Make sure, and in your school, across your school, make sure that you also do those QR codes. Beautiful. You can type it up, or I can put the link down below, also with the grade 8 schools.org over there down below, and you can type in QR code generator, or you can get into Canva, which is free for educators. If you didn't know that, it's free for educators. So sign in and log in. They would automatically generate a QR code, and you can put it with your link, and everybody can find you, they can reach you, and they can find all the things you want. Tip number 5. Show them your website. I'm going to show you a picture of my website. Of course, I cannot give you details of it because I work in an amazing school district, but make sure that you provide it in tangible. I know that some districts do not have a website, but try to figure out the way. Which site? It's a place where you can create one. I was working for a different district in Houston, and they didn't have like a specific area where I can put all the things. So I created one in Wixsite, and it is free. And you set up all the types, and you set up all the tabs you want to do with them, and that will be your website. If the school district does offer an opportunity for you to have a website through them, go for it and show them how it would look like. Make sure that you're connecting with your students, of course, your virtual students, of course, community, parents, and staff. And all that information should go in there if you want to provide tips, virtual office, and all that type of stuff, how they can reach you, a welcome letter. If you have any type of program with food assistance, put all of those tabs in there. 5th grade transition, 8th grade transition, high school transition to college, or any other type of transition you may have. Tip number 6. Tip number 6, provide different examples of your program. Chunk it down in pieces or divide it in pieces. How it looks like for this, what it looks like for that, responsive services, individual planning, and all those components that we all know, okay? Then, last but not least, don't forget about the hard copies. It caused a great impression on you. You're organized, you're ready for the job, you got this, and most of them do not even have the copies. They go so fast that sometimes administrators do not even have the time to print copies for everybody. So you will give a great impression with your handouts or the copies of your updated resume, telling them who you are. You look like you're prepared. And don't forget about aesthetics. Rather, if you're doing a virtual Zoom meeting or Zoom interview, check your background, check how your hair looks, check what type of outfit are you using, and all those tips and hacks. Well, dear school counselors, those are the tips that I have for you today. Don't forget to, right now, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget that I will be doing also a playlist of different suggestions. In my previous video, we talked about the role of a school counselor, a little bit of how to respond. Tell me a little bit about yourself. We talk about what do you see as the most effective use of a school counselor's time. What do you think is the most important characteristic of a school counselor? Essential characteristics for school counselors that support caring and supportive school climate for all students. We talk about describe your ideal school counseling program. Include some specific examples. We talk also about how does the school counseling program support a school's improvement plan, which are the IR schools or the Achieve 180 schools, when schools are not doing that well. In my next videos, we're going to talk about our strengths and interests. That's a part of if you Google Ask Us sample interviews, you will find a template over there. But I will be providing down below a template that you can use. So pause the video. Make sure that you sign in for our newsletter. You have to provide us your email, and I will be sending you automatically sample questions and freebies and different resources that I have. I have a TPT store that is called Counseling Solutions by Chris, and you will be receiving some information related to that. So I hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget, if you have any questions or if you're struggling making a decision or making a response for your program, please leave it on the comments below that I will be happy to talk to you about it. In our next video, we're going to talk about, and I'm going to read these questions for you because it's very important that we start thinking about it. Okay. What influenced you to be a school counselor? What's your journey to becoming a school counselor? What do you know about our school counselor, our school that you consider a strength or a weakness? How do you handle criticism? How can criticism improve one's work? How you can connect with our population? How do you handle stress? What is your experience with parenting progress questions? Depending on the needs of the campus, maybe you can ask a couple of questions. I'm going to suggest a couple. And in the next following videos, we're going to talk about more about the school counseling program: define, deliver, manage, assess, advocacy, collaboration, leadership, and scenarios. So please don't forget to stay tuned, because this is just the beginning of a beautiful journey that we're going to have together. And by the end of all of this, we're going to celebrate and you're going to shine, okay? But you need to be ready, and it starts now. It's better to be ready for an opportunity rather than have an opportunity and not be ready. So the moment is now, and this starts today. So I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing day. Let me know your questions and see you soon. Bye!